Welcome to another home yoga practice. This is Alison, and today's practice is inspired by all my clients and students who are men and or athletes who have particularly tight hips and hamstrings. So these are essential hip and hamstring openers that you can do in less than 20 minutes. So that means there's no excuses not to practice regularly. I know your hips and hamstrings are tight, so let's start standing. Bring your palms together in front of your heart, press down through your feet, reach through your crown, and breathe. In through your nose and out through your nose like the waves of the ocean. Just a few moments here to get steady, grounded, centered. And then come into a wide-legged stance. Your feet about the same distance apart as your wrists when your arms extend out from your heart. Look at your feet, make sure your second toes point straight forward. Place your hands on your hips, bend your knees, squeeze your shoulder blades on your back, and bow forward. Now we're going to bend one knee at a time to get into the hips. So start on your right side, bend your right knee a little bit, and stretch actively through your left foot. And then change sides. Bend your left knee, stretch through your right leg. And then back to the first side again. Bend your right knee, stretch through your left leg. Moving with your breath, change sides. Bend your left knee, stretch through your right leg. One more on each side, moving gracefully with your breath. And then come back to neutral. Stretch both legs straight and bow forward. If stretching your legs straight causes any tension in your low back, bend your knees. From here, we're going to move into a hip opener. You're going to stretch your spine forward, turn your right toes out, bend your right knee to a square, and walk your hands to a diagonal. Bend your left knee now and move your left hip crease back, your left butt bone back, and then stretch your left leg straight. So your sitting bones, your hips are moving back, but your spine is lengthening forward. Change sides. Turn the right toes in, left toes out. Bend your left knee to a square. Bend the right knee, move your right hip crease back. You can even use your hand. And then stretch the right leg straight. So there's lift and expansion in your hips, length and freedom in your spine. From here, walk to the first side again. Move slowly and deliberately with your breath. Turn your right toes out. Left toes point straight forward. You can turn the left toes in slightly, and this time you're going to bow deeper, like you're taking your head to the inside edge of your right foot. If you're up for a challenge, you can clasp your hands behind your back, but only if you can keep the left hip back and you feel no pain in your low back. Slowly release your hands and walk to the second side. Right toes turn in, left toes turn out. Bend your left knee to a square. Bow forward here, moving your head to the inside edge of your foot, or clasp your hands behind your back. Again, to clasp your hands behind your back, you want to feel freedom and space in your low back, and you want to really be able to keep the right hip crease back. Slowly and mindfully release your hands. And then walk back to neutral. Both feet face forward, second toe pointing straight forward. Bend your knees if you need to and bow forward. Again, if you can keep the thighs back and there's no pain in your low back, you can clasp the hands for a shoulder opener. Even when the hands are clasped, draw your shoulder blades towards your hips. And then wherever you are, inhale, rise up to standing with strong legs and a long spine. And step up to the top of your mat into Tadasana, mountain pose. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, bow forward. Here, feet hip distance apart, you're going to inhale, move your hips back, heart forward. Exhale, stretch through your legs and bow. 4 more just like that. Inhale, bend your knees, move your heart forward, hips back. Exhale, stretch through your legs and bow. 3 more. Inhale, use your legs, engage your leg muscles, and then exhale, stretch your legs straight, stretch your hamstrings. 2 more. Inhale, open up. You're opening your hips by moving them back and apart. And then exhale, you stretch through the legs. Last one. Inhale, bend your knees, hips back, sitting bones up, spine long. Exhale, stretch actively through your legs like you're pressing your feet into the earth. From here, you're going to step your left foot back and come into a lunge. Hands on either side of your right foot, back upper inner thigh lifts, sternum lifts. Then lower your left knee down. Keep your back toes tucked under. On your inhale, you're going to lift your sternum up. On your exhale, you're going to stretch both legs straight and reach through your heels. Inhale, come into the low lunge. This is your hip opener, sternum lifts. Exhale, stretch actively through your legs. Open your hamstrings. 3 more. Inhale, hips move towards the floor, heart moves to the sky. Exhale, stretch through your legs and bow in. Last 2. Inhale, low lunge. Exhale, straight leg lunge. Final 1. Inhale, low lunge, hips melt down, heart lifts up. Exhale, stretch both legs straight, active, strong muscles. Now you can stay here bowing forward or press your hands into the mat and lift the front part of your right foot. So just the right heel is on the floor. And then you're dragging the right heel back towards your left toes. The foot doesn't move, but that's the action, that's the energy. From here, shift all the weight onto your right foot. And then step the left foot up halfway for Parsvottanasana. This is another hamstring stretch. Your hands can stay on either side of your right foot, or eventually you can place them in between your legs with your fingertips facing the back foot. Press actively through the big toe mound of the right foot. That'll be the point to lift up. With your next inhale, lengthen your spine. And then step up, Uttanasana. Exhale, bow forward. From Uttanasana, you're going to step your right foot back for the second side. Come into your low lunge first. Really strengthen your back leg. Lift the back upper inner thigh towards the sky. And then lower the right knee down. Inhale, lift your heart. Let your hips move towards the floor. And then exhale, stretch both legs straight. 4 more. Inhale, low lunge. Move with your breath like a wave's carrying you forward. Let your hips move down, heart moves up. And then exhale, stretch both legs straight, reach through your heels. 3 more. Inhale, low lunge, strong, active legs. Exhale, use that strength to stretch through your legs, stretch the hamstrings. Last 2. Inhale, low lunge, sternum lifts, hips move down. Exhale, stretch through your heels and bow. Last 1. Inhale, low lunge. Exhale, stretch both legs straight. Stay here or place your palms on the floor. Lift the front part of your left foot so you're on the left heel, and then you're drawing the left heel back towards your right toes. The leg and feet don't move, but that's the energy. It engages the back of your leg more so you get more intense on stretch in your hamstrings. Breathe. The breath will open your muscles. The breath will open your body. And then step halfway up with your right foot. So you've got about 3 feet in between your 2 legs. Both toes face forward. The right toes can point out about 35 to 45 degrees. And then you're going to bow in. The final form of this pose is the forehead to the knee. But if you need your hands on blocks, that is fine. You can also always bend the front knee. It doesn't take you out of the pose. It just makes the pose more accessible. It makes the benefits more accessible. So never hesitate to bend your front knee. With your next inhale, look forward, straighten your spine, and then step up and exhale, bow forward. We're moving into a strong lunge. Step your left foot back, bend your right knee to a square, and inhale, take the arms up overhead. If you need a little more space, bend your back knee, then lift your back upper inner thigh towards the sky, lift your heart. With your next exhale, touch the floor. And you're going to step up into what I call standing L pose. So the right leg straight, the left leg is lifted, so it's parallel to the floor, back foot flexed, and you start to bow forward. Hands are on the floor. Use your strength here, use your weight. This is a great IT band stretch. Lengthen your spine, and then slowly bring the left leg to meet the right. Next, step your right foot back, get steady in your feet, and then inhale, come up to your high lunge. Tailbone down, belly up and in. Lift your sternum, lift your heart. Really lift your back, upper inner thigh towards the sky. Big inhale here. And then exhale, touch the floor. You're going to step up with the right leg, bring your hands forward and come into the standing L pose. Ideally, your hips are square here. Your right toes point straight down, your heels straight to the sky. And anchor yourself through your left foot and bow in. With your next inhale, lengthen your spine. And then exhale, bring your right foot to meet the left. And bow in. Place your hands on your hips. Bring your shoulder blades on your back and come up to standing. From here, we're going to do a standing hip opener at the wall. I recommend feet about 6 to 8 inches away from the wall, and then you're going to root down through your right leg, cross your left ankle over your right knee, so your legs look like a 4. You're going to press your hips into the wall, and then lengthen your sternum forward, spine forward. Your lifted foot is flexed. So if I'm away from the wall, here's how the shape would look. Stay at the wall, keep pushing your hips back. So it's not like you're sitting in a chair. The hips actually move back and the sitting bones, the butt bones, press into the wall, and that is how you get the stretch. Inhale, come up out of the pose, and then let's try the second side. Again, at the wall, push your sitting bones into the wall. It's like you're moving your upper inner thighs back towards the wall, and your lifted foot is flexed. That's what keeps the stretch out of your knee. Again, here's what it would look like from a profile. Don't tuck your tailbone like you're sitting in a chair. Move your upper inner thighs back. Lift your sitting bones up, and that gives you the opening in your hips as well as the length in your spine. Make your way to standing and come back to the top of your mat. Inhale, stretch up. Exhale, bow forward. From here, come onto your sitting bones and lower slowly onto your back. On your back, you're going to cross your left ankle over your right knee and either thread your hands around your right hamstring, or eventually you can place the hands around your shin. Your feet are flexed and active. You deepen the pose by moving the left knee away from you. Slow, deep, steady breaths. I'll often imagine my hips have gills, so it's like they draw prana, they draw the breath directly into the hips, directly into the tight spots. Once your hips are open, you may be able to pull your knee in a little closer to your chest. Keep your feet active, slowly release the first side. Place both feet on the mat, pause and breathe. And then second side, cross your right ankle over your left knee. Thread your hands around your left hamstring or the top of your shin. Keep both feet flexed and active. It's the engagement of your feet that creates power and energy in your legs, and it's that power that fuels the opening in the hips. So it's not just softening, and you're already strong. Usually if your hips and hamstrings are tight, you're strong. And now we just need to use that strength appropriately and use that strength to actually open the hips and find more balance in the body. Keep the breath moving in through your nose and out through your nose. And you're going to slowly and deliberately, with active feet, release the second side. Place your feet on the mat. And then stretch your legs out long. Join the inner edge of your feet together and flex your feet so your second toe points up to the sky. Then draw your right knee into your chest. Draw the knee a little more towards your armpit and then thread your hands around your hamstring. Not high up on your hamstring, but low where your leg meets your hip. And press your leg into your hands into your leg. You want your toes a little higher than your heel here. And then bend the knee, draw it back into your chest. Extend your leg out long, flex your feet so the second toe points up to the sky, and then second side. Draw the knee into your chest, knee a little more towards your armpit, and then hands behind your hamstring. Stretch the leg straight. Press the thigh bone into the hands into the thigh bone. So after all those hamstring stretches, you want to give your body time to recover. And this is kind of like a self-love technique for the hamstring attachment. So it ensures the hamstrings not only open, but that they're happy and safe. Slowly, mindfully draw the knee back into your chest. And then extend your leg out. Draw both knees into your chest for one last self-loving hug. And then extend your legs out long. Allow your palms to rest face up beside your body and come into Shavasana. Shavasana is your time to absorb and assimilate the new knowledge in your body from your practice. Take this time for yourself. You deserve it. And thank you so much for participating in another home yoga practice. The light in me sees and honors the light in you. Namaste.